How to set a herringbone pattern, step 1 on book of instruction. What I have done is I've got a pink string line that's going from here all the way to the other side of my installation, and it is centered at my entryway. As you enter an installation, that's where you will notice the pattern the very most. There aren't going to be any chairs or anything on top of that, so that's where people are going to really see your pattern. So I would start your pattern so that it will look good at your entryway. And so what I've done is I've screeded in a sand setting bed here over half the circle. The other side, I don't have my sand setting bed in yet because I need a place to walk. And then you don't want to walk on that or disturb it to the best of your ability. Okay, let's get started. I am doing a herringbone pattern. That's a tough pattern to do, especially if you're doing it for the first time. So you can see that I've laid a few pavers here and I've squared them up. I've taken a carpenter square and I've squared those up. So I know that they're sitting against each other at a perfect 45-degree angle. And then I need to know how wide this pattern is from that corner to that corner. But obviously those corners aren't right across from each other. So I've taken, you take a ruler or some kind of a straight edge and hold that against at least 3 of the pavers. And then I'm going to measure over, and bear with me, I don't have a videographer on this, so you're kind of going to have to take my word for it a little bit. But from that straight edge, you're going to measure over to the opposing corner, and you want to do that in a very square way. But anyway, long story short, this winds up being a 12-inch wide pattern from that corner to that corner. So from the furthest corners and straight across, 12 inches wide. So because I want this zigzag to actually start in the center, I want my string line to run through the center of that zigzag so that I have an equal number of pavers on either side of my entry. I don't want to start it so that anything's off. I want everything to be centered so that once my pavers get out to this edge and this edge, it's all going to be even. And you won't have a full paver over here and like a half paver over here, because it's going to look really funny. So there it is. It's all going to be centered on my pink string line. And you can basically see, it's kind of hard to get straight over it, but it basically is centered here. And so what I've done is I've taken 2 pavers and I have set them just so that they're barely touching my string line. They're not moving it, they're just barely touching it. And I have measured across there 6 inches, or 1/2 of the width of your pattern. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. And I have set a level then with a couple big nails so that I've got a level sitting straight at 6 inches away from my pink string line here. And then what I did was I got my speed square. I know these shadows are real deep on this, but I got my speed square in there and I set this right here, my very first paver. And I set it so that I know that my first paver is now sitting at an exact 45-degree angle. And then I did the next one and the next one. And so I will set this line of pavers, and then next I'll set that line of pavers. And then we'll have the start of our pattern. And I will, in the next video, show you how I progress.